أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي زدني علما أجمعين اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته Welcome to LQ Milton class number 83. We are starting lesson number 29, book 2. Today inshallah we are going to learn about a verb. Let's call it a special verb, al-muda'afu. Al-muda'afu. You don't have to memorize it, but then this verb has been used, or this special verb has been used in Quran. And Dr. Saab in book 2 lesson number 29 is teaching us about this verb in a very comprehensive way. To learn about this special verb al-muda'afu, we need to recall our knowledge about sakin pronouns and mutaharrik pronouns. The file in the verbs, the file in the verb can be sakin or can be mutaharrik. So, we can also call it pronouns, sakin pronoun or mutaharrik pronoun. We learned that concept in the previous classes. So, quickly let us recall the concept of sakin pronoun and mutaharrik pronoun. Okay. So, this is a conjugation of verb fail nasara. Nasara. Where is the file? Mustatir. Taqdiruhu huwa. So, it is sakin. It is sakin, right? Nasara. Where is the file? Alif is the file. There is no haraka on alif. So, it is sakin. Nasaru. Where is the file? Waw is the file. It is sakin because there is no haraka on waw. Nasarat. File mustatir, taqdiruhu hiya, sakin. Nasarata, where is the file? Alif, sakin. So, out of the 14 forms, huwa huma hum, hiya huma hunna, anta antuma antum, anti antuma antunna, ana nahanu, out of 14 of them, 5 of them are sakin. Then start hunna, nasarna. Where is the file? Noon is the file. It is mutaharrik, not sakin anymore, because I can see the fatha, right. Nasarta, nasartuma, nasartum, nasarti, nasartuma, nasartunna, nasartu, nasarna. Mutaharrik, 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 all the way through nasarna. So, in Madi 5 are sakin and 9 are mutaharrik. Okay. When it comes to mudare form, out of 14, 2 are mutaharrik and rest of them are sakin, and those 2 are hunna and antunna, mutaharrik, otherwise sakin. Hunna, antunna are mutaharrik, rest of them are sakin. So, now that we understand this concept of sakin pronoun and mutaharrik pronouns, let us move on to al muda'afu. Before we go into the conjugation of al muda'afu, hajja, let us look at the construction of hajja. Hajja. What is the meaning of hajja? To perform hajj, to perform the hajj, hajja, right? Hajja.
To perform or he performed?
Oh, he performed, yeah, 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 he performed, but yeah. File is mustatir taqdiruhu huwa, hajja. In reality, or in its original form, this hajja was hajaja. Today we are going to learn about the concept of idgham, how to do the idgham. If the two letters comes together and they are the same letter, then we have to assimilate them. That is called adgham, principle of adgham. In its original form, hajja was hajaja, ha-ja-ja. So, whenever we have a situation where two letters, similar letters coming, we have to assimilate them. We have to assimilate them. In order to assimilate hajaja, the two jim, what I do is I remove the fatha, and then I will put sakun there, hajaja. Now, this will facilitate me to assimilate the two letters together. Now, I pronounce it hajja. Repeat hajja after me 5 times. Hajja, 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 hajja. Okay. There are many other radda, adda, shamma, zanna. All of these zanna, yazannu, right? There are many other form of al mudaf used in Quran, radda, right. So, we have to identify those verbs in the Quran when we read them. Zanna has been used a lot of times. Zanna, yazannu, yeah, tazannu, azannu, nazannu, 5 in your pocket. So, applying the principle of idgham, hajja becomes hajja, hajja. we'll do an exercise today. We'll try to do an exercise in lesson number 29. But let's first start to understand. So this is Mazi, Hajja. Before moving on to the Mudare, remember in the beginning of the class I said let's recall our memory about the Sakin pronoun and the Mutaharrik pronoun, right? Whenever there is a Sakin pronoun, Hajja will remain its reformed form. Let's call it a reformed form, and this is the original form, let's call it. So whenever there is, right, let's create our own terminology here. So Hajja is a reformed form from Hajaja, and Hajaja was the original, let's call it that way, right, let's call it that way. So whenever there is a Sakin pronoun, Hajja will remain in its reformed noun, reformed form. Whenever there is a Mutaharrik pronoun, then it will be in its original form. That's why it's important to recall that concept. So let's start it. Hajja, he performed. Fa'il mustatir, taqdiruhu huwa. Hajja, Sakin pronoun. Hajju, Sakin pronoun. Hajjat, Sakin pronoun. Hajjata, Sakin pronoun, right? Then comes Mutaharrik pronoun, Hajajna. Now what happens? It was technically Hajaja, but remember when Mutaharrik pronoun comes, the Lam kalima will get the Sakun. Nasara, Nasara, Nasaru, Nasarat, Nasar, Nasarata, Nasarna. The minute Mutaharrik pronoun comes, the Lam kalima will get the Sakun, right? So Hajja, Hajja, Hajju, Hajjat, Hajjata, Hajajna. The original Hajaja will come and the Lam kalima will get only Hajajna. Hajashta, Hajashtuma, Hajashtum, Hajashti, Hajashtuma, Hajashtunna, Hajashtu, Hajajna. Right? So the original form and the reformed form. The reformed form will remain in the 5 Sakin pronoun, and the original form will come in the Mutaharrik pronoun form, the 9 of them. Easy. Let's talk about the Mudare form now. What is the original form? It's actually how, what is the original form? Hajaja. Now this Hajja is basically Bab Nasara. Bab Nasara. Let me just separate it, right? So this is Madi. Now let's come to the Mudare form. What is the original? Hajaja, right? Nasara, Hajaja. Nasara yansuru, Yahjuju. Nasara yansuru, Hajaja, Yahjuju. Again, remember I said when the two similar letters coming together, we apply the rule of idgham, assimilation, right? Assimilation. So what will happen here? What did we do here? Hajaja, we put to the ayn kalima, we give it a sakun. So I will remove this dhamma and I will give it a sakun, right? I will give it a sakun. Now I have another issue. Iltaqai sakinaini, the two letters coming together with the sukoon on them. So, in Arabic language I cannot pronunciate it. So, this dhamma will move into the ha, the fa kalima. So, it will become ya hujju, ya hujju. The dhamma will go to the fa kalima. So, there is a sukoon on jim, and then there is I can assimilate, I can apply the principle of assimilation, the idgham. So, it is now ya hujju, ya hujju, ya hujju, ya hujju, right. Again, coming back to the sakin pronoun and the mutaharrik pronoun concept. What did we say? Whenever there is a sakin pronoun, it will be in its reformed form.
Right.
And then whenever there is a mutaharrik pronoun, it will be in its original form. Simple, huh? Yahujju, fa'il mustatir, taqdiruhu huwa. Yahujjan, is it marfu? Yes, it is marfu. Yahujjani, where is the file? Alif. Noon is the sign of it being marfu. Yeah, mudare. Noon is the sign of it being marfu, right? Alif is the file. Is it sakin? Yes, it is sakin. So, it will remain in its reformed form. Yahujjuna, wow. Tahujju, file mustatir. Wow is the file here. Tahujju, file mustatir, taqdiruhu hiya. Tahujjani, right? Tahujjani. Alif is the file, sakin. So, it will remain in its reformed form. Then comes the mutaharrik pronoun, hunna. Noon is the file, it has a haraka on it. So, it will come back into in its original form. Yahjujna, Yahjujna, right. Tahujju, file mustatir, taqdiruhu anta, sakin. Tahujjani, file alif, sakin. Tahujjuna, file wow, sakin. Tahujjina, file ya, sakin. Tahujjani, file alif, sakin. Tahjujna. Now, on tunna comes tunna is the mutaharrik pronoun noon, so is tahjujna. Ahujju, fa'il mustatir, taqdiruhu ana. Nahujju, fa'il mustatir, taqdiruhu nahnu. So, one thing that at least we learned when it comes to madi, 5 are sakin, 9 are mutaharrik. When it comes to mudare, 2 are mutaharrik and 12 are sakin, right. So, remember that. So, hajaja, yahjuju, and then in order to apply the concept of assimilation, I have to put sukoon to the lam kalima, and then the dhamma will move and it will be yahujju. Repeat after me, yahujju 5 times, yahujju, yahujju, yahujju. It will become, for phonetic reason, it will be yahujju, yahujju, right, yahujju. This is of mudare form. It's easy. It's just we have to practice a little bit. Then let's move on to the al amr, fe'lu amr, the verb of an order. Now, amr can only be applied to the second person. right, only be applied to the second person. Anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna. The concept of original and then reformed, let us apply into the mudare form too. When I say hajaja, which is the original, nasara, yansuru, yansuru is the original, right, or yansara is the original. So, yahjuju is original and the reformed form is yahujju. So, there are two forms here. One is the original form of mudare and one is the reform form, just like hajja, hajaja, hajja, right. So, this is a special verb where we can make mudare using we can make mudare of two types and both are used in Quran, both are used. So, do not get confused. One we can make amar by using the original nasara yansuru, and one we can make amar using the reform form. Hajaja yahjuju, hajaja yahjuju, or hajaja tahujju, tahujju, right. So, tahujju here fa'il mustatir taqdiruhu anta tahujju, this is the reform form, right, tahujju. It's not the reform, it's not the original form. So, for me to make amar out of it, what I need to do, first thing what I need to do, what? Remove the ta, right, remove the sign of it being mudare. That is the first thing I do. The second thing I do is I will give sakoon to the lam kalima. So, sakoon, right. So, what remains is this is a, right, two sakoon, the two sakoon altaqai sakinani comes on both jeems, an kalima and lam kalima. Do I need to bring hamzatul wasal here in amar? No, because I can actually pronunciate the fa kalima hu. So, I do not need to bring hamzatul wasal here, right. We only bring hamzatul wasal in amar when there is a sakoon on the fa kalima, right. Remember that in the amar form we already learned that. So, here I do not need to bring hamzatul wasal here because I can pronunciate the fa kalima. The problem I have here now is on both the ayn kalima and the lam kalima we have sakoon altaqai sakinani. So, the principle of adgham assimilation will apply here, and then they both joins, and then in order to pronunciate it we put a fatah there, it becomes hujja, hujja. This is a samai. What is the meaning of a samai? This is how the people heard, this is how the language was developed, right. This is how the language was developed. So, they call it, so they do not put the, they put the fatah there, hujja, hujja. Those two sakoon will join, and then the sakoon, the shadda will come because there is sakoon there, and then you put a fatah there, it will become hujja, 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 hujju, hujji, hujja, ohjujna, ohjujna. See, we learn from it. Why? Because yeah, dhamma there, yeah, ohjujna. sakin, 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 mutaharrik, it opens up to its original form. Now, this is the reformed form. I can use the original form. I can use the original form to make the amar as well. Both are correct. Both can be used. What was the original? Nasara yansuru. Nasara tahujju become tahjuju. Tansuru, tansuru, tahjuju. The original. This is the reformed form, right? So tahjuju, tahjuju. Let's make it amar. Right. Now here I have to bring Hamzatul Wasal. Ohjuj. Ohjuj.
This makes more sense.
Yeah.
This is the regular way of making amar.
Ohjuj. 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 Why I am not assimilating the two jim? Because even though there are two letters together, but the sign on both of them are different. The haraka is different. So I can do. So it will become ohjuj. So I can use either this form or I can use either this form to make my amar out of it. Both are correct. Both are used. And then from ohjuj we can ohjuja, ohjuju, right? Ohujju, and then we can do that. Let's make it majzoom. Again, the concept of original and the reformed forms come, right? What was the original? What is the reformed form? Let's start with the reformed form. Yahujju, 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 right? Yahujju. Make it majzoom. Now I am not making amar here. I'm making it majzoom, right? So I don't have to remove the ya here, and all 14 pronouns can be made majzoom. What did I do? I put the sakoon here. Now both criteria is met now. Two letters similar and both have similar haraka on them or have sakoon on them. So the principle of assimilation adgham will come now. And then what do we do? Yahujja. They both come together, and then from phonetic reasons, samai, we put the fatha there. It becomes Yahujja. Now, Yahujja, lam comes and then becomes Yahujja. So now my mind knows it is majzoom here, but I have another problem. I can see the fatha there, but I know this is a temporary fatha. I know behind the fatha there is a sakoon there. So I say fe'lun mudhareun majzoomun mabni ala sakoonil muqaddara. Estimation of it is sakoon. It's a sakoon there. I only put the fatha for the phonetic reason so that I can pronunciate it, but technically the fatha was sorry, the sakoon is behind the fatha. So my mind knows. So these are the things that when we read the Quran sometimes we miss. This is in a majzoom form. Fe'lun mudhareun majzoomun. If you don't recall this term, don't worry about it. I wouldn't even say it. But we know that sakoon is there. Yeah, sakun is there. Now, is this mutaharik pronoun or a sakin pronoun? It is sakin pronoun. So, it will remain in its reform form. But when it comes to the mutaharik pronoun, it will be in its original form. Is it true? Yahujja, yahujju, and now immediately we can identify whether it is a mutaharik or a sakin pronoun. Tahujju, tahujja, tahujja, yahjujna. Tahujja, tahujja, tahujju, tahujji, tahujja, tahajjujna. Ahujja, nahujja. Right? We can also make majzoom by using the original. We are not going to do anything more than that in this class, because this is probably too many things, but inshallah when we go back and listen to the lecture again. So, this is the reform form, this is the original form, nasara, yansuru, yahjuju. Right now, let us make the majzoom form from the original form, yahujju, yahjuju. Both can be used, both are correct. See, this is why this is a special, these are special. Radda, zanna, hajja, shamma, there are many others. We'll try to do it, do some of the examples. Shamma is important now. Okay, one thing, okay, we'll come back to it. Yahjuju, yahjuj. This is simple. All I have to do is put a sakun there, yahjuj, and I can say yahjuj. Right? Yeah, simple. We can just, so right now just remember that. So, madi, mudare, amar and majzoom. Now, these forms do come in Quran. Most of these verbs are from Bab Nasara. Nasara, yansuru, nasara. So, when I say hajja, it's one more step. When I say hajja, what is the original? Hajaja. What is on the ayn kalima? Fatah. But then we know sometimes ayn kalima will get the kasra. Most of the time, in this case, in al mud'afu, it is either the fatah or the kasra. So, the verb will be from Bab Samaya. Like for example, Shamma. Shamma. Shamma means to smell, but rather than hajaja, the ayn kalima will get the kasra, because this is from Bab Samaya. So, it is Shamima. Shamima. So, this is the original and this is the reformed form. Same, we apply the same methodology here, but Shamima will become Shamma. Now, why this is important? Because if the verb is from Bab Samaya, then let us try to conjugate Shamma. Shamma, see what happens, watch carefully. Shamma, Shammu, Shammat, Shammata, Shamimna, not Shamimna, mim, because the ayn kalima has the kasra, so it will be Shamimna, Shamimna, Shamimta, Shamimtuma, Shamimtum, Shamimti, Shamimtuma, Shamimtunna, Shamimtu, Shamimna. Now, it is tough for us to identify when al mudaafu comes which bab it is from. So, either it will have a kasra or the fatha. So, if it has a fatha, then we say it's nasara, and if it has a kasra, we even don't have to it's a kasra, we say samaya, or dictionary will tell us to, but I don't even not recommend going to use the dictionary, because there are only two cases here, either the nasara or the bab samaya. So, lesson number 29, page number 205 of the old book. Actually, let us go to page number 207, exercise number 2. Exercise number 2. هذه أمثلة للفعل المضاعف. These are the examples from al mudaafu. The first one is hajja, which we just did. Asluhu, original it hajaja. Yahujju, asluhu is yahjuju. Yansuru, nasara yansuru. Yahujju, yahjuju, but then we know how from yahjuju we make it yahujju, right? We already did that. Zanna, zanna is from bab nasara. Zanna has been used in Quran a lot. Zanna has been used in. So let's do zanna. Zanna, zanna, zannu, zannat, zannata, zananna, zananta, zanantuma, zanantum, zananti, zanantuma, zanantunna, zanantu, zananna. Zanna, yazunnu, yazunnani, yazunnuna, tazunnu, tazunnani, yaznunna, tazunnu, right? Azunnu, nazunnu, 5 in your pocket. Azunnu and nazunnu comes in the Quran.
yaznunna.
हाँ
इसमें शद्दा आ जाएगा.
हाँ शद्दा आ जाएगा. या किसकी बात कर रहे हैं?
यज़नुन्ना, यज़ुन्ना,
यहजुजना,
यजुजना,
हाँ
यज़ुन्ना.
यज
nun,
नुन्ना, नुन्ना. No, 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 no. Yeah, they're two different. Yeah, nunna. Don't confuse it with the. Yeah, it sounds like it, but it's not. Yeah, yeah. Zunna, Amar. Zunna, zunna, zunnu, zunni, zunna, us, nunna. What is the meaning of zanna? He think, guman karna. Jarra, what is the meaning of jarra? To pull. Marra, marra means to pass. Marra yamurru, jarra yajurru. Adda, adda to count. Adda ya'uddu. Sabba with the sin, to insult or abuse somebody. Yasubbu. Radda, to reply. Yaruddu. Swabba with swat, means to block something, to block. Sabba yasubbu. Sorry, sabba means to pour. Yeah, to pour. Sorry, to pour. And sadda is to block. Sadda yasuddu. Then comes Bab Sam'a, Shamma, Shamima, Shamma, Yashammu, Massa. Shamma means to smell, Massa to touch, Yamassu. Shamma aslahu Shamima, Yashammu aslahu Ya Yashmamu, Samaya Yasma'u, Bab Samaya Yasma'u, Yashmamu. What we need to do now is at least take one or two from Bab Nasara and take one from Bab Samaya and then conjugate it. Try to make a chart like this first and then create the conjugation. I think we will stop here because this is in next class inshallah we will finish the lesson. Once we understand this lesson is very easy. We can finish the lesson easily inshallah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha laha ma kasabat wa alayha maktasabat. Rabbana la tu'akhizna in nasina aw akhtana. Rabbana la tahmilna ma la taqata lana bih wa'fu anna waghfir lana warhamna anta maulana fansurna alal qawmil kafirin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.